George Band knows what to do. Hi. Thank you all for coming to our spring concert. My name is Chris Moore. I'm one of the band directors at George Junior High, alongside with Miss Beatty, and Miss Espinosa will be our third band director / musician tonight. This is our spring concert. This is our end of the year performance, and it is just kind of bittersweet. Ninth graders are about to go to high school. Eighth graders are about to turn into leaders, and then we'll have some seventh graders come into George Junior High. So all year long, we've been working on discipline, respect, posture, playing, notes, rhythms, and all those sorts of things, and we feel like we've had a great year. The concert for the spring concert can often be a long concert, so we're going to try to limit some things that will make the night go a little bit quicker. We'll just keep the same setup for all three groups, even though we have a little bit different sizes within each group. A lot of students have already received their certificates that they'll stand up to be recognized. The trophies will take just a little bit longer as we go through that. Etiquette for the concert: we're going to be recording tonight. Parents, if any children become restless, they can go out into the lobby and wait. And cell phones, flash photography, if we could just keep things just really even for us to have a great performance and for the recording. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Our programs, we remember the trophies, we remember the instruments and the music and so forth, but we have a parent that's going back right now to get our programs, and these will be in the lobby probably after a song or two. So I'd like to read to you what the first group will be playing. This is the George Junior High Varsity Band. We'll be playing Avenger, Accidentally in Love, De Colores, and Visions of Arne Wes. Please help me welcome to the podium Miss Ashley Beatty and the George Junior High Varsity Band. We don't have a band without 8th graders and 9th graders. And when they start at whatever middle school that they come from, majority Kelly Middle School, and we have students that move from us from all over the world. And so we really love our 8th graders and 9th graders, and the 9th graders will have a special thing for them at the end of the night. But 8th graders are in this band. If you'll please stand up. These are our future leaders for next year. These kids coming to us from, wherever they came from, a lot of them Kelly Middle School, have really, really, really helped us to have a great year. These are the 8th graders that are in our band, this group, and they have a certificate already that we passed out in class today. We're looking forward to them being our future leaders next year. Parents, if you please recognize the 8th graders that are in this group. Thank you, guys. You can grab a seat. And we'll be identifying all of those students in all the groups tonight. Next, we would like to recognize a student in this group who made All Region. The highest individual honor that you can make in junior high, the highest thing that you can do in band is to be selected into All Region. And 2 years ago, working with a guy named Mike Westbrook, we kind of came up with this idea that we would start this picture thing that's across the way, to have the photographer come in and to take the pictures and to get it mounted, and the frame is missing, but we're going to get it framed and hung on the band room wall. It's a really big deal to make All Region. And so the 8th graders that just stood up just a moment ago, we're going to be working next year as 9th graders on their scales and their All Region music so that they can make that picture. So that's our All Region picture from this year. And we have a student in this group selected to All Region. Chris Luhana, would you please stand up? Chris made All Region Jazz. We have orchestra, we have regular band, and Chris was first band, first chair on guitar for All Region Jazz. So Chris, if you'll come here, please. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Luhano. So on Saturday, when Miss Beatty and I went to Fort Smith to pick up the trophies, we went down Interstate 49 to Fort Smith, and then we came up Highway 71, the scenic way, and Chris just did a perfect demonstration of how to do a round trip like that. Next, we would like to introduce Miss Espinosa. Miss Espinosa was a student teacher at Springdale High School with Mr. Stevens this year, and she has 2 sisters that are in the George Band, and so her assignments just took her all over the place. She went from the high school to Lakeside to Kelly Middle School, and then she came back and worked with these students this year. She is a graduate of HAR-BER High School. As of 3 or 4 days ago, she is a graduate from the University of Arkansas with a degree in music education, and she is looking for a job. And one of her last tasks for us tonight is to direct the George Band. So please help me welcome Miss Espinosa and the varsity band with Decolores. Let's do some trophies. Behind me are assortment of trophies. What's back here is called the Band Award, and the Band Award is for students who are great practicers, come early, stay late, go to sectionals, have improved, have just been outstanding in their class period. And so there's a couple of students that we would like to recognize. Students, when you hear your name, if you'll come up here. Alan Baradas. Brandon Gallardo. Yeah, buddy. Don't you want a trophy? All right, you can clap for him when they stand up, and I'm just going to keep reading through the list. This student helped us when we went to competition, not only playing his trumpet, but also percussion, Manny Delatorre. This student's a really hard worker, Alexis Chavez. We had to switch some students to help us at competition, and Miguel Galaviz switched to bass clarinet. Keeping our flute section together, Cindy Torres. Felix Mahia. Chris Lujano. Jacqueline Olquin. If you keep your eyes on the percussion section, he's just going to do about everything tonight, and he has really kept us together all year. Ray Roman. Now, I'll have to give him a hard time at school tomorrow, but perhaps just what I'm saying right now will help the situation. He doesn't have the right shoes on tonight, but he has been amazing this entire year. Fabian Ramirez. Sydney Pippins. Euphonium, Kevin Perez. Last but not least, this student moved to us from Hellstern, I believe, and his band director said, this student will be a great citizen for your program. And Mr. Morris, C.J. Morris, was absolutely right. Randy Young. Do we have a director's award? Huh? You want to do it? Okay, and one more new tradition that we have one more award for this group, and it's called the Director's Award. And Miss Beatty kind of came up with this idea one day, and we kind of talked about it back and forth. And so it's kind of a new tradition for this year, is each group will have a Director's Award. And we visited back and forth about all the students in our program, and we love them and respect them all and very much. This year's Varsity Band Director's Award goes to Chris Lujano. He's a quick learner. You'll notice the route that he's now taking to come towards us. Okay, we have one more piece with this group, and then we'll do a quick turnaround setup. Row one will come up this way, and then we'll go around that way. Last piece for tonight is Visions of Arne Wes. We'll just see how the seats kind of work. I think she needs a seat right there. Mr. Wood, raise your hand. Parents, right there is Mr. Wood, and he is going to the lobby with our programs. Sorry for the delay. So during this transition, or even before you leave, if you're interested in keeping up, Mr. Wood, well, maybe come down the aisles and hand those to some parents and then put the extras in the lobby. Thank you, Mr. Wood. In that last one, we'll just add it back for the next group. All right. Row 3, slide on down to your normal spot. We'll have to these back. Yep. All right, that's about as quick as we can do it. Thank you, students and parents. Just kind of a reminder, just if you ever see Dr. Rollins walking around Springdale, he really supports the band and our schools and music and the facilities. So personally, want to say thank you to Dr. Rollins for his support of music, our jobs, our kids, and everything. We're really thankful to him. And also at the building level, Mrs. Eads, Miss Barker, Mr. Cole, they are just incredible to work with, and I hope the three of them will stay with me for the rest of my career. If I have a question, help, anything, these three administrators are one of a kind, and I really appreciate the three of you from the bottom of my heart. The next group before you is the George Junior High Concert Band under the direction of Miss Ashley Beatty. They will be playing Pulse Pounding, Concerto for Faculty and Band, The Fortune Teller's Daughter, and Ignite the Night.
Good evening. So the next piece on our concert is called Concerto for Faculty and Band, and it calls for non-musical faculty members to play percussion instruments. So we, one day in class, voted on the faculty members that the kids wanted to see most play with them on this concert. So they are sitting backstage right now, and we will play an entrance for them. It's going to be a little bit of a different kind of piece. But I hope you enjoy it as much as we have enjoyed rehearsing it. So without further ado, here's Concerto for Faculty and Band.
Wow. Go ahead and give our faculty and administration another hand. The only problem with that was they're not too bad. Especially Coach Johnson on the cowbell. He's watched SNL, Saturday Night Live, one too many times. Thank you, teachers. 8th graders in this band, if you'll please stand up. We are really counting on these kids next year to be our future leaders as our 9th graders go on into high school. And they have made for an awesome year for us. Please give our 8th graders in the concert band a hand for an awesome year. Thank you, 8th graders. Many of these faces that you're seeing now, you'll see on that picture next year if you don't already see it right now. The last 4 days of school, parents, we're having our leadership tryouts for next year, which will include drum major and section leaders and those sorts of things. So on Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday after school from 4 to 5, we will be having our leadership training and then tryouts for next year. We have some students selected to all region in this group, which could have been orchestra or jazz band or the regular concert band. So students making all region is a really big deal, and your face will live in the George Band Room forever. When you hear your name, please stand up to be recognized. Karen Whitley. And Anna Del Cid.
Daisy Rodriguez. Emma Daytwiler. Natalie Cordova. Guadalupe Alvarado. Elias Resendez, and Valeria Quintanilla. All right, y'all go ahead and have a seat. There you go. And the next piece on our concert will be Fortune Teller's Daughter, featuring Mr. Chris Moore.
This is normally the point in the program before our last number where we bring out the ninth graders, but we're going to bring them all out right before the end of the night is so you can take a picture of them together. So we're going to be moving to our trophies for this group. The George Band Trophy is for students who are outstanding, practice hard, work hard, and just do a really good job all year long. Flute, Tatiana Rui. Guadalupe Alvarado. Harry Almaraz. Emma Datewater. Anna Del Cid. Lexi Miller. She practically learned the instrument this year. Her story has just been incredible. Kelly Martinez. This awesome instrument right over here is the Barry saxophone, and the young man playing it is Dexter Jenkins. Augustine Hernandez. Pablo Hernandez. One of her favorite things to do is play concerto for faculty and band so she can pick on Mr. Cole. Clarissa Ortiz. Marco Perez. Valeria Quintanilla. Guadalupe Perez. Ryan Espejo. Karen Whitley. And keeping the boys in the drum section in line, Wendy Tovar.
And now it is time for the Director's Award for this group. This student has been outstanding all year. Every time one of us steps on the podium, he is, he is ready to go. Always sitting up nice and tall like we're always trying to get him to do. He is always ready to play his music, eyes locked on. Every time I look at his section, he is just laser focused. I don't think we have had to say anything to him all year. He is just quietly always doing exactly what he is supposed to be doing, which is why the Director's Award for the 2017-2018 concert band goes to Harry Almaraz. And the final piece for our portion of the concert will be Ignite the Night.
Before she gets up there to start this piece, Miss Beatty is a first-year teacher, and she was very blessed, as I was blessed. I did my internship in Springdale 13 years ago, wow. And at the time, a job came open, and things worked out for me. And things worked out well, I think, for Miss Beatty, too. Her daily responsibilities, just so you know, she begins either at George or at the high school. She'll teach sectionals. Then she'll travel, or lessons. Then she'll travel to the high school to work with the high school band first period. Then she travels to George Junior High. Then she travels to George Junior High to work with our concert band, our advisory math group that we'll get, our symphonic band. Then we travel together to Kelly Middle School, where she is the lead teacher for saxophone, oboe, flute, and then she has a French horn class, comes back and does at George Junior High the varsity band, and then teaches after-school sectionals from 4 to 5 at George Junior High. Then she'll have high school sectionals from 5 to 6 or 6:30, and that's her daily job. And she's really good at it. And my first year, I don't know if I knew what I was doing. And she is a really great teacher for your students, a great friend to me, finding new songs out there that include the faculty, works with our drum line, fixes instruments. She does a ton, and I can't even list it all. But the students, I believe, love her, and she has been an incredible friend to me. So let's give Miss Beatty a hand tonight. Thank you.
If you have a program and you open it up, the third page in your program says "Just a Note." If you rip off that, if you rip off the back page of your program, you are welcome to leave a little note for your students or for all of the bands about how they did tonight, and we'll go ahead and read those tomorrow in class, and also hang them up in our hallway for the very last little bit of school, just as a nice reminder of the great and positive work that they've done. You are welcome to leave those in the box that we have sitting out in the lobby after the concert. Thank you.
Wow, what a great audience. Thank you guys so much. On the program that you received on the very last page behind the note that Ms. Beatty was talking about is recognizes some people, including our administration. Also want to make sure that gets added, completely my fault. I want to make sure Dylan Adkins gets recognized for teaching our French horn section. James Hendricks, the band director at Kelly Middle School, working our percussion section. Kevin Robinson, Sydney Hanna, Forty Mathis, who coached our clarinets and our tubas. Janice Bingston, Keith Wood, and Sarah Johnson. Also our high school band directors, Miss Miller and Mr. Stevens, who have worked with our students all year long. And in fact, Mr. Stevens will direct our second piece tonight, which is Holst, Movement 1 of the E-flat. Our first piece tonight with the Georgetown High Symphonic Band. It's a great opener. It's called Quasar. We hope you enjoy it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will please help me welcome to the podium our Director of Bands for Springdale High School, Mr. Julius Stevens.
I didn't tell Mr. Moore that I was going to speak. I will do it very quickly. First of all, I just want to welcome you to the concert. I'm so glad and so thankful to be a part of a big team here, and it definitely is a big team. It's amazing to see all three George groups and just hear the amount of music they're playing, the difficulty of music, and in some ways, they are already ready to jump right into the high school band. So let's give a round of applause to all three George bands one more time. Now, that amazing music that you hear obviously wouldn't happen without two very special people. There's a whole team of them, but in particular, it is just an extreme privilege of mine to call myself a team member to Mr. Moore and Miss Beatty. They're two of the best, and I know sometimes whenever you see them day in and day out, and your students see them every day, they just can't quite believe that they really have the best. But those are two of the best teachers I've ever seen. I've seen quite a few of them. So, two more rounds of applause for those two special teachers, Mr. Moore and Miss Beatty. And then the last thing that I'll say is that in some ways I feel like a little teenager tonight. As band directors, it's a real tricky thing to hand over the keys, as it were, to your ensemble. And so for them to allow me to come and be a part of this is scary, because you're like, man, don't wreck the car, Mr. Stevens, don't wreck my car. And these kids are definitely a spectacular bunch. So here we go on the whole. So I think we'll enjoy it, and these students have done a lot of good work. This is definitely a high school piece, and they're already doing a great job. So here we go.
Please give Mr. Stevens another hand. I've been a teacher for 13 years, and I've had the joy of watching Mr. Stevens' career as he's been in Maryville and Fort Smith and now here in Springdale, and he has had success everywhere he has been. His students love him everywhere he's been, and our students are getting to know him, and when they get to high school, parents, your kids will be in great hands. In ninth grade, they get a fine arts credit, but that shouldn't be the end of music. They're going to love, when they get to high school, the show that the high school band is working on, his direction, his vision, and I can't just say enough great things about Mr. Stevens. And we're going to encourage all of our kids to keep pursuing music and get a scholarship and go to college. And his teammate, Miss Miller, Mr. Stevens asked me to sit in alongside on the interviews as that was going on last year, and Miss Miller is an incredible flute player. I was completely impressed with her throughout her interview and her experiences and diversity and helping students, which is exactly what we do in Springdale. And then she went above and beyond, and this year she started a mariachi band for Springdale High School. And so it's just incredible what the two high school directors are doing. And 8th graders, we want you next year so bad. 9th graders, we're going to miss you so bad, but we're going to be at your concerts and your rehearsals and just looking forward to seeing the Springdale High School band. So thank you, Mr. Stevens. Teachers that are here tonight, if you'll please stand to be recognized. Any George Junior High faculty member that's here, if you'll please stand up. Thank you for coming to our concert. Miss Sedbury, Miss Carey, Miss Barker, Mr. Olson. Thank you guys so much. We might share a kid named Abby Gray, and every day this past year she's like, hey, let's play Niambashi. No, Abby. Hey, let's play Niambashi. No. Probably because her brother Thomas Gray played it once before. So we're going to play Niambashi tonight. It's called it's Japanese for the bridge market, and it's supposed to be just people shopping and having lots of conversations. And so like every 2 measures or so, just something different is happening. So Abby Gray, hope you like Niambashi. All right, Abby, I hope you're happy. Eighth graders that are in this band, if you'll please stand up to be recognized. If you'll please give them a hand. We are really excited for next year. Bittersweet high school students going on. We'll recognize these ninth graders in just a minute. And so eighth grade, pictures on that picture over there. Our leadership parents, again, it's the last 4 days of school, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Looking forward for a great year from you guys. Thank you for a great eighth grade year. Grab a seat. Thank you. In 2013, we had a student selected to the All-Region Orchestra. And it is very difficult to get into the All-Region Orchestra because the tryouts come, it almost feels like right when school starts. And they take 2 clarinet players, two trombone players, a couple trumpet players, and we compete practically with half of the state. It's the entire, just draw a line through the middle of Arkansas, and that's who we compete against. And so for 1 tuba spot, or two or three percussion spots. And so it's been since 2013. We take students every year to go to try out and get experience. But this year, it's been, I guess, 4 years later, Alex Garcia made All-Region Orchestra. Alex, please stand up to be recognized. Congratulations. We'd like to recognize students who have auditioned for the jazz band, and in that picture over there is reflected. So students, when you hear your name, please stand up to get recognized. Crystal Espinosa, Helen Gomez, Angel Correa, Maria Bonilla, Abby Gray, E. Angelicame, Edwin Soto, Chris Lujano. Our All-Region Jazz members. Thank you very much. We had several students, including Chris Lujano, who made first chair, and that comes with a prize. And so these students will come get their first band, first chair trophy for All-Region Jazz. Crystal Espinosa on alto saxophone. Helen Gomez, first chair on tenor saxophone. Ian, first chair, jazz trombone. And the other one was Chris Lujano. Yeah, first chair, jazz guitar. Congratulations. Students selected to the All-Region Band in this group include Cislali Lopez, flute. Stay standing, please. Alex Garcia. Lizbeth Lopez. Lizette Corvera. Juana Araujo. Yasmin Pina. Claudia Marin. Asiel Manjarez. Stephen Alvarenga. Helen Gomez. Isai Delaror. Angel Correa. Gavin McVeigh. Andre Valdez. Jesus Ortiz, Ian Yelakame, Edwin Soto, Halsey Listo, Javen Mason, Omar Flores, Reina Torres, Jonathan Heim, and Draco, where are you in the back? Percussion, there she is. You can still barely see her. Draco Tatios, our All-Region Band students. Thank you, students. And of some of those students that were standing, for instance, Draco just found out today as a sophomore on making the high school snare drum line is ridiculously hard. And Draco Tatios just made snare drum line next year for Springdale High School Band. It's unheard of. The kid before, I guess, was Kate Richards is out there somewhere. So those two are going to be a force to be reckoned with next year. Isai, if you'll come here for making first chair on the Barry sax at All-Region. We have a new tradition this year. The students don't even know about this. They know about something else, and I had to make sure that I said it correctly. We have students that are really talented athletically, in the choir, in the band, and so some students made not just orchestra or just jazz or just band, all region. They made 2 or more, even if they made choir too. So we didn't have anybody, unfortunately, this year make orchestra and jazz and in the concert band. And then somebody can make choir too, and that'd be more than trifecta, it'd be something else. So we started a new award this year called the Dual Award. And so if you made more than one all-region band program, you're going to get recognized. Alex Garcia on orchestra and band. Come here, buddy. Jazz, trumpet, and concert trumpet, Angel. Come here, buddy. Jazz, trombone, and concert trombone, and choir, all region, Ian. Tenor saxophone, jazz, and choir, and concert band, Helen Gomez. These students are all serious musicians, but to make 2 or 3 different all regions in 1 year is just absolutely phenomenal, and their high school directors will be extremely lucky next year. The next piece Miss Beatty will direct is called Spring Rain. It's going to come with a little bit of sound effect to show off this time of year. Helen, if you'll go ahead and move over to the piano.
I just want to say a couple of things about this piece while she is making her way over to piano. First of all, she is pretty amazing to be able to just walk up and play the piano part. We actually had 2 very amazing students. One was Abby Gray, who was fighting hard for Ni Himbashi, and then also Helem. And Abby ends up being one of our French horn soloists tonight, so she has to stick with her French horn. But Helem, a big thank you to you for playing piano for us. I found this song when I was going through a particularly difficult time, and it was very comforting to me. And we have a lot of students, not just in the band you see in front of you, but also these 2 that have gone through their own sort of difficult time this semester. So I hope that this song has brought them comfort, as it did for me. So here is Spring Rain.
Also, Miss Beatty, in the things that I said about her earlier, she is extremely emotional and she cares, and that's, I don't think, a bad thing at all. We have one more piece for you all tonight, but we've got to do a couple of recognitions before we do. And ninth graders, as we enjoy this together, you know, as you go to high school, there's no goodbyes. It's only see you later. Okay, so we're just going to keep enjoying this night. If the drum majors would please come up here. Ian, Helen, and Abby. They're about to receive their drum major award. These kids last year at the end of school auditioned to learn how to do this and lead the band, and they come in the summer and they vacuum a lot. Vacuum that spot. Do it again. Okay, I still think I see something. Do it again. They get our music ready for next year. They have been great leaders of our band, recommending music, dual awards and all sorts of things, and being a leader in the George Band and being the drum major is a huge thing. And these three kids are very special. Please give our drum majors a hand. The band award, the section leaders, whether it be Mr. Wood or Mr. Hendricks, we monitor the students' progress all year long. So it's been something that's been from the first day of school. And so getting, you want to read some of these?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Start right there.
Okay. It's my turn to talk now. Juana Araujo. Maria Bonilla. Maria. Angel Carrera. Liz Corvera. Kalintha Eknar. Now he knows how I felt earlier. This is funny for me. Crystal Espinosa. Emily Espinosa. Jessica Favela.
Dominoes.
Hey, I did that earlier.
Yeah, you put them in a straight line.
Now we're even. Omar Flores. Alex Garcia. I love the woo that's happening, like 10 out of 10. Ian Gallicame. Helm Gomez Jimenez. Gilberto Gordillo. Abby Gray. Jonathan Heim. Landon Ingram. Amaya Johnson. Halsey Listow. Lizbeth Lopez. Sitzlali Lopez. Oh, you got a fan club. Asiel Menjarez. Probably the leader of that woo. Yasmin Pina. Edwin Soto. she's going to get mad at me because she's currently under a drum set trying to put a drum together. Draco Tatios.
I'll bring it to you, don't worry. I got you.
Congratulations. Reina Torres.
Is this a list one? All right.
And last but certainly not least, Andre Valdez.
Is that it? Oh, wait, I didn't break it after all. We'll trade later. Okay, I thought I broke his, and so I had to give him this temporary one. So, Andre, we'll switch in a little bit. We can talk about Patrick Gilmore.
The next award is going to be the Patrick S. Gilmore Band Award. This award is special to me because in 2011, while I was in high school, not that long ago, I received this award, and this award is given to somebody who not only is an outstanding musician, but is always helpful, is an outstanding human, and an outstanding bandsman. The student that is going to receive this award tonight has pulled off amazing things this year. This student met with me before rehearsals at the high school. She would ask me to come to George so that we could work on her all-region music. And just watching her grow this year and just do amazing things with a clarinet is really special. And I'm excited to see what she does in high school. So Miss Juana Araujo, will you come up?
A lot of these awards that we're doing tonight are our sectional teachers give us input. The flute teacher, Miss Johnson, hey, I've seen this kid come in practice a lot. This kid's improved a lot. As we kind of get to the end here, it becomes a little bit more specific. All three groups every day for the past couple of weeks heard about a band camp scholarship. And band camp, since I was a kid, has gone up astronomically. It's now about $500 to go. When I was a kid, it was about $200 to go. And so to ask a family to say, hey, we really want you to send your kid to band camp, it becomes extremely difficult to give up just $500 just for a week. And so 2 years ago, we started a new tradition of scholarshiping one kid to camp. And so every student in the George Band had the opportunity to write a letter of why going to camp for free at our expense is worth it. And so the parents that read the letters, and we want to read one to you of the student that's going to camp. If they can maybe keep it together while we're reading through this. I want to share this with you. This is what the student wrote. To begin with, band is honestly my life. I can't go a day without playing my instrument. Music makes me forget about all the bad things going on in my day. When I play my instruments for once, I feel like me. I want to take music with me for the rest of my life. A day without music would be one of the worst days of my life. It's just too important to me. This scholarship would mean so much to helping my family. I want to give back to my parents as much as possible. My parents love to see me happy and grow up knowing that I am always doing something I love. Although I may not get this scholarship, no matter what, I will keep playing my instrument forever. Emily, come get your certificate. Emily Espinosa, everybody. It makes me happy to see that it perhaps touches families and helps them out. And thank you for everybody that turned in a letter. And Emily, your reaction is just, makes what we do worth it. And I'm glad that it can help you out. Last year, the student that received it didn't think that she had a chance when Haley Ballard got it, and she, cried on stage. And I'll never forget Alice Vicente, his dad, 2 years ago when we started this, going, Alex! Just jumped up in the middle of the audience. And so it was just a beautiful thing. Mr. Wood, if you will join me up here. We're starting another new tradition this year. And 7 years ago, the Springdale High School directors said, George Junior High, we need to make sure that we're just having some incredible musicians come from your school. It was like a challenge. And so we hired Mr. Wood to come work with our students. Our students love Mr. Wood. He is professional, but a goofball. Serious, but not. Practices all the time and is really funny and a really good trumpet player. And this year, when we ran out of money to hire people to come in and work with our students, and he's worked with our brass players and all of our groups, we ran out of money, and he keeps coming back. Almost this whole semester, he's been volunteering his time to help us. And on Friday, when we told him we were going to start a new tradition naming a trophy after him, I probably should have told you right now, because just if you could have seen his reaction, it was priceless. So the criteria for the brand new Keith Wood Award is hardworking, caring, diligent, focused, musical, works hard, will just do anything for you. And thank you, Mr. Wood, for all of your service to the George Band. The three of us sat around and talked about students that have his personality or those sorts of things. And it could have been a percussionist. It could have been a flute player. It just so happened just by chance this year that the person that will receive the first award is a trumpet player. This person is in choir, in band, in basketball, football, just does about everything and still comes to sectionals and helps us at assessment. Had a sister in the George Band. Gavin McVeigh, you're the recipient of the first Keith Wood Award. You want to talk about this one? You've seen a couple of students win the Director's Award, which is also kind of one of our new traditions, and thank you, Miss Beatty and Mr. Wood and Jocelyn Pedrote for helping me with ideas for new traditions. This award, we saw Harry and Chris Luhana with the Director's Award, and so for this new tradition that Miss Beatty started with the Director's Award, this student that will be receiving this year's Director Award, you've seen him a couple times tonight. So the Symphonic Band Director's Award goes to Ian. We didn't practice that, and that was awkward for about half a second. All of these kids are going to do great things in life. In just a moment, you're going to see our ninth graders standing before you. We're going to begin reading 7th hour ninth grade names. He'll come line up right here, and then 2nd hour, and then 3rd period. Tomorrow in class, if all of their fees are paid in full, we have a tradition. It's just called the ninth grade, just to leave with something, not just a little medal or a pen or something that they would lose. And for 13 years, 14 years, they've been doing the George Blanket. And to hear that former students are in college and in their dorm, they've got that laying on their dormitory bed or something like that, just to know that they actually hang on to that, that's pretty special. And so if their fees are paid in full tomorrow, they'll come in during band and make sure that they get their award, and they'll be carrying that around school all day tomorrow. When you see them line up before you, these kids were 6th graders together. And we have a 2nd period, 3rd period, and 7th period because our band room is really small. But in the 10th grade, the band room is huge, and all the 11th graders, 12th graders, and 10th graders have 1st hour band. And to be in the high school marching band is an amazing thing. And so when you see these kids in just a second who started band together, stuck with it, and we want to see them go to high school. Mr. Stevens and Miss Miller will be so blessed to have our students. Our students this year, if you were at the Christmas concert, are absolutely awesome. I'm going to let Miss Beatty read their names as they come up here, and parents take lots of pictures when they're all lined up. It'd probably be busting at the seams going down the sides.
Antonio Araujo. Go ahead and start coming up. Ramiro Carrillo. John Dutton. Anna Flores. Chris Lujano. Kimberly Martinez. Felix Mejia. Carlos Minjares. David Nunez. Isidro Orona. Fabian Ramirez Ceja. Ray Roman. Felix Sierra. Lance Thonsavath. Cindy Torres. Harry Almaraz. Guadalupe Alvarado, Hugo Braceno, Jesus Castaneda, Natalie Cordova, Summer Cousins, Emma Daytwiler, Daisy De Santiago, Ana Del Cid, Alondra Elizade, Ryan Espejo, Yesua Espino. Can y'all go in front of me? I want them pictures of you, not of me. Thank you. Leslie Flores Sierra, Heather Gonzalez, Augustine Hernandez, Jesus Hernandez, Pablo Hernandez, no relation, Orlando Herrera, Alexis Miller, Alexis Mitchell, Christopher Ontiveros, Clarissa Ortiz, Anthony Osorio, Marco Perez, Ivan Pineda, Renee Racinos, Elias Resendez, Eva Romero, Karen Sandoval, Nathan Ship, Wendy Tovar, Karen Whitley, Juana Araujo, Paula Arevalo, Bryce Atwood, Jesus Barroso, Peter Vieja, Maria Bonilla, Francisco Campos, Angel Correra, Melina Debrom, Isai De Loria, Crystal Espinosa, Omar Flores, Oswaldo Flores, Alexander Garcia, Ian Gallicame, Helen Gomez, Abigail Gray, Samson Heckers, Amaya Johnson, Halsey Listo, Gloria Yanito, Lizbeth Lopez, Sitzlali Lopez, Asiel Minjares, once again, probably the leader of the Woo, Gavin McVeigh, Kimberly Morin Osorio, Jesus Ortiz, Jocelyn Pedrote, Giovanni Perez, Yasmin Pina, Edwin Rivas, Chesney Sierra, Draco Tatios, Miguel Uloa, and last but not least, Luis Andre Valdez. Parents, feel free to take lots of pictures with all of them right now.
In your mind, imagine shrinking them down to being back in 6th grade when we first met them. And look at them now. Springdale High School is going to be very lucky to have these guys going into 10th grade. Mr. Stevens, it's going to be an awesome band. Ladies and gentlemen, the George Junior High Freshman Band. All right, guys, if you'll make your seat. We have one more song tonight. Do you want to say any final things?
Yeah.
Just like it's been a great year or whatever. Let's see, final announcement, Jim.
Right on schedule.
And I'll say one more thing.
You go first.
I've been a teacher at George Junior High for 13 years, and this has been my absolute favorite year. The parents, your kids are absolutely incredible. If I can ever be a letter of recommendation for you, for a job, for the kid, for college recommendation, for anything, please let me do that for you. If I can ever help you in any sort of way, I have felt extremely happy, positive. There will never be another year like this year. And you guys don't know it because you're just living this year. But the past years have been really good, but maybe I'll say this next year, I don't know. But this has been really, really, really good year. Thank you, Miss Beatty. Thank you, parents. Thank you, kids, for an awesome year. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. The last song that we're going to play is called Incredibles. Our jazz band meets on Thursday after school, and we've had about 13 students that have given up their Thursday night all year long. And so this past Thursday, we went and ate pizza at what I thought was Gusano's, but it's called Guido's. And then we went to watch a movie they wanted to watch called Avenger Infinity War. And Ian's like, okay, it's about this stone thing, and he's trying to get them all together. And I was like, oh yeah, it's like hide and seek. So we got to watch that movie, and the preview for the movie was Incredibles 2. So this is, I guess, Incredibles 1, which will hope kick you guys off into the summer movie season. Students need to bring your uniforms to school tomorrow. We're going to be back at George Junior High 30 minutes after this, so students can put instruments away, or you can bring them back tomorrow. Parents will be able to hang around and visit with you, lots of pictures. Thank you guys for a great night. This is The Incredibles.
And before he steps up there for this one, since he did that to me earlier, I do want to say thank you, first of all, to the parents and all the students for making my first year just absolutely incredible. A lot of people use kind of their first job and their first year as a stepping stone to get somewhere great, but I was lucky enough to start somewhere great, and I'm not going anywhere. But one person who was instrumental in that happening, and also is just an incredible mentor, is Mr. Chris Moore. He was my mentor during my student teaching. And even before that, he trusted me enough to teach his bass clarinets for the all-region sectionals. And over the past year and a half that we have known each other, we have just gotten so much closer, and I can honestly say that he is definitely my best friend. And just getting to work every day with your best friend is something that's incredible, and learning from him and just watching both of us grow as a team and then also as individuals is great. So can we please have a round of applause for Mr. Chris Moore?
Thank you for coming. Students, take your instruments home. We'll be back at George in about 30 or 45 minutes. Take your uniforms home. Have a good night.